YouTube, and there are these things called the YouTube Awards, the 2007 YouTube Awards. And the instructional video was Dan Brown how to solve a Rubik's Cube. So I bought a Rubik's Cube and then solved it with that tutorial. And well, yeah, since then I pretty much couldn't get enough of it, and I just wanted to solve faster and faster. And watching videos of people like Dieckmann and Eric, I was pretty inspired to try and be as fast as them. So from that point, I started learning CFOP and began to meet up with other QS in my city, and eventually they started holding competitions here in Australia with the help of people like Dean and Dean too. So the reason most of you guys are here is you want to get a bit faster at geometry, so I'll try and do my best in the next 6 minutes to achieve that. We're not going to try and sort of demonstrate any algorithms or anything, because that wouldn't really work. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is color neutrality. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's being able to start on any side as opposed to just one or two sides. And the theory is that you'll come across sort of easier cases more often, and therefore solve faster. There's a lot of debate about benefits, and there's a statistic which says you only say maybe one move across. But I think the real benefit of being color neutral is to look ahead into FOL. Because in inspection, you can only sort of track a piece or two, maybe 5 or 6 moves before you lose track of it. And it's sometimes those 1 or 2 extra moves which make you lose track of the piece. So when I'm doing being color neutral, it helps. I think it really helps transition into the first pair and the flow from cross into FOL. But yeah, do you guys have any thoughts on color neutrality? So if you're thinking about sort of switching, I actually learned it from the start, but I think it's really difficult to switch to color neutral if you're about to solve PDing. I've heard sort of stories of people switching, but I think that once you start PDing, it can be really difficult, and people can be really fast to white cross. It's sort of still yet to be proven, I guess, which is faster. The next thing I'm going to talk about is practice. And normally, if I get a message from someone saying how to get faster, the most likely answer that I answer with is practice. Now, in terms of practice, could anyone raise their hand to do practice is just solve a cube repeatedly? Okay, that's I phrase that like it's a bad thing, but personally, I reckon that's a pretty. Of course, some of your time will be used for stuff like learning algorithms, watching example solves, but for the rest of the time, I think that solving the cube, with the timer or without, is how you're going to get better and better at it. Doing stuff like penal time attack, sure, it might help you become better at penal time attacks, but it won't have too much impact on your solves. One thing that I do often is just pick up a cube when I get home and watch TV or something, and just solve the cube in a relaxing way. And when you do slower solves, I think that you sort of subconsciously become more efficient, and you can sort of decide which pair you're going to do without any pressure or anything like that. It's also a good thing if you can execute your PLLs pretty quickly, and I do agree that this will help you, but the key thing is that you're able to execute them well in a solve consistently. And in terms of algorithms for all of the PLL, it's all sort of down to personal preference as to which ones you use and how you execute them. You don't necessarily need to copy anyone else's finger tricks, just use your own. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick experiment, and I'm just going to get a director out of my bag for this, so 1 second. So, okay, everyone, get a cube if you can. If you don't, then don't worry. Just 3 by 3. I want you to scramble it, then solve the cross and the FOL. Right, so I'll wait about another 15 or Right, so I'll wait another 5 seconds. Right, so I want everyone to look at Viola and don't just look at the colours on the top and know what algorithm it is. I want you to sort of focus on all the 8 pieces and their positions in the cube. So look at all, not just the yellow or teal. Okay, now what I want you to do, to close your eyes. Everyone close their eyes. Now execute the Euler algorithm and keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed after doing the Euler. Now keep your eyes closed and try and do the Euler. Guess what the Euler is. Alright, so this is a sort of pretty fun exercise, and I'm using it to try and sort of demonstrate a sixth sense when it comes to solving. When you've solved the cube a large amount of times, I think that your brain sort of subconsciously becomes aware of patterns and how particular moves affect particular pieces. Now this isn't something that can be taught, you can pretty much just learn it yourself by practice. Now, anyone put their hands up if they solved the cube? And anyone else put your hand up if you got like a U-turn at the end or something? Something pretty close. Yeah, so more, a few people. So, what are we doing? Okay, so yeah, it's, like I said, you sort of, when you're doing the OLL, when you looked at it, you can sort of see what, maybe what type of field you're going to get if it's an easy OLL. And it sort of gets you to try and visualize the cube in your head and sort of use your knowledge from past solves to try and work out the field. Now, if you're trying to develop this, it just takes lots of practice. Just quickly, I'll do top 5 tips. Number 1, do slow, untimed solves. You should probably aim to do at least 20% of your solves without a timer, and the more the better. As I already explained, you will become more efficient, and even if you're just fucking around with the cube, you're gaining a fair bit out of it. Number 2 is pretty much look ahead. Main tip for that is don't look at what you're currently solving. Say you're solving F2L there, you don't want to be looking at it, you just want to know what moves to do so that you can look at other pieces around the cube. I think this one is really important, but don't cube unless you want to cube. If you're forcing yourself to do an average of 50 or 100, you're less likely to be productive and more likely to see it as a chore. Even coming into this competition, I had no sort of set practice times or routine. I just solved when I wanted to, and well, I'm pretty motivated, so I solved a lot. So if that happens, you solve a few, or you solve no time at all, then that's it. Don't solve unless you genuinely want. Number 4, I haven't discussed hardware, but the most important thing to do is to have a cube that you're confident with. Make sure that it doesn't pop, because if it does, it's going to be in competition. If you're someone who enjoys finding all the latest cubes and stuff, then do it as long as you don't get broke, I guess. That means you're confident in your cube, then you're more likely to solve confidently as well. Because pretty much 3x3 is the event where you can't make mistakes and you've got to be confident. And number 5 is practice. You might not see immediate benefits, but trust me, it works in the long term. So that's about it, and we'll see you next.